here. Welcome, welcome. Waiting for my live to go live on YouTube so that I'm able to click into it so I can see who's coming into my YouTube too. I have a good setup. Okay, come on. It's always a delay over here for some reason. Welcome in, everybody that's coming in. Hey, Holbrook. How you guys doing? Oh, I gotta make sure everything's muted. Because if not, my voice will come across both platforms and it's not pretty. It gives off that signal like when you're at a live and you know how the microphone goes out of sync. That's what it sounds like. It gets bad when you don't have everything muted like you're supposed to. I think I do though. I think I got it. I'm so tired today. Ugh. And my brain's not awake yet. Seriously, I just woke up because I fell asleep. I had my alarm set and it didn't even go off. It was weird. So, if you are new to my stream, I'm a slow seller. I don't do sudden deaths. I'm not fast. I read the synopses of books and I have to tag somebody in here because I had to pull the books. And if you look at the buy it now and you see anything, I don't have it near me. So I have to bring it. Hey, Threads for Days. How are you? There's our Pidgey Cheeks in the room. Thank you so much. He's so sweet. We were in Keith and Classy's live and Hey Crazy, and they decided to raid Threads. And oh my gosh, you want to talk about a hyper kid? I about died. You're so funny. He's got more energy. I'd like to have a little bit of it. He's a hyper one. Let me get this person in here. CKG nurse. But you're doing good. Every time they ask to raid the end of the show, I always keep telling them, go for Threads, go for Threads. But it is funny because Keith raids with like 500 people. And he was sitting there, and I will never forget the first time we raided you. He was sitting there like, where the hell did all these people come from? Like, would you have like a few people and it flew up to like 500? It's like, what? I would probably do the same. I'm used to small crowds. I don't think I can handle big ones. Yeah, but it was like so funny because we all flew into your stream and it was hysterical looking at your eyeballs. Your face was like, what? It was priceless. And all I have to say is, just like I said that night, that was one of the best raids I have ever been a part of because it was amazing to see that many people come into a thread and shock somebody with a little bit of people. But if you don't know Threads, he does a lot of cool t-shirts. He goes out and he finds vintage t-shirts. He gets bands and all kinds of stuff, and it's really cool. So if you're not following him, you got to, because I'm telling you, this kid's got so much energy. I tell my grandkids all the time, if I just had just a little bit of your energy, you're quite welcome anytime. And Jake is another good one. He is so Jake and Bake. He is so pleasant. I've never seen a guy say thank you so many times in a stream when he got rated. He's I got a Harley shirt off of him for my husband and he loves it. It's kind of a dressier one instead of like a regular t-shirt. And he was like, "Oh my gosh," when it came in, because I told him, I said, "This is a little bit more fancier than what you're used to," because he always likes just beat up t-shirts. But this one was really nice. So I'm always looking for t-shirts for him. I have a hard time buying clothes for myself. My body proportions, because I'm 5'8", I have like a long torso, so it's like I find shirts where and my shoulders are kind of broad. So when I find shirts, they don't fit my shoulders or they're too short in sleeves. So I always have to try stuff on, but believe it or not, my favorite shirts are in the men's section. I don't like the women's t-shirts. I don't know who decided to take and cut our sleeves to where it digs into our armpits. But I like a man's t-shirt because the sleeves are exactly where I want them to be. I can't stand the women's shirts. So I'm always in Walmart in the men's section looking for t-shirts, especially where they have the setups where, it's got the turn thing and it's got Snoopy and all kinds of like bands. Cause I like Def Leppard and stuff like that. So I always go for those types of t-shirts. I know that's me too. When I go shopping for t-shirts, that's where I head is right for the swirl things, the things that move around and you get to move them and then you get to pluck your t-shirts. They always have good ones there. I find like Scooby Doo and all kinds of stuff. Yeah, band t-shirts are really popular. My daughter keeps telling me to pull my tote down from the attic. She says, Mom, she says, your stuff will probably sell like crazy because I still have from the 80s my Jordache jeans, my Calvin Kleins. I still have all the vintage style. But I've never pulled them down to sell them. They're just put away. I know. We had a yard sale and you wouldn't believe because my daughter said, I should have took some of Dad's t-shirts and shredded the bottom like it go to a concert in one because he has all kinds of like band t-shirts and stuff. He went to Ozfest and all that kind of stuff. He's definitely a rock guy. But I like all genres. Music to me is I love everything. I even like classical. I love it all. I always find a piece in something that I like, but he's like more rock. So he had this, it was like a vest, like Harley thing on the back, but where the sleeves are shredded, like the sleeves are gone, but then it comes into like a shred right where your shoulder is. These people went crazy over this shirt. They were holding it up in the air, and I thought, oh my God, I should have took it to Whatnot. Hey, Red Garnet, welcome in. Yeah, it was like a biker type. But it's just crazy because I never think of that. I never think of our stuff being vintage because I keep saying, hey, our age is vintage. We're on our way to antique. I don't think I'll make it though. Antiques at 100. I never got to see some of them. Like I had a book where I did like a glue book of some bands like Cinderella and all those, but I actually got to see Air Supply in concert, Bryan Adams, Leonard Skinner, Def Leppard 3 times. My gosh, I've been to so many concerts. Def Leppard was awesome. But our tickets back then, Threads, I actually held it up in one of my videos. I don't have them near me. I think I put them away. My ticket was only $19.94. $19. That's all it cost to go to a concert in our day. You don't see tickets like that now. They're expensive. But the ones I regret not seeing was I didn't get to see Stevie Nicks. I didn't get to see Journey. There was a few favorites I wished I could have. Oh, hold on, I'll show you something. And I got to see Night Ranger. Tesla actually opened up for Night Ranger when I went to that concert. I have this. Oh, I forgot. I made a smash book. Wait a minute. I'll show you the ticket. You got to see this. This is my smash book. Hold on a minute. I'll show you the proof of my ticket. Because I have it in here. Let me get to it. But when I went to the concerts, the t-shirts were really high. So what I collected from the concerts was the books. So I saw Night Ranger. All these were from the 80s. Here's my Bryan Adams book. This was in 1985. These are all my books that I saved. Huh, huh. Check it out. And no, I'm not selling these. Def Leppard was so awesome. So this is from 1988, the US tour. And then here's the other one. And then I got to see Van Halen. This was 95 and 96. Now, this wasn't with David Lee Roth. We seen these at the Pavilion. Them at the Pavilion. But yeah. My collection. Got a tease with it. But here's the, let me find the ticket real quick. I gotta prove it. It's in here somewhere. I forget where I put it. Smash books are fun for people that's never done a smash book. It's kind of like a legacy of yourself. You can make one. You don't have to buy one because I think they went out of business. I had this book and I wanted to leave a legacy. Like my favorite games was the 1970s Payday. I loved Clue. But we got to make lists. I was trying to find my concert ticket real quick. This is a nice legacy to leave. I thought I put it in here, but yeah, I have a little ticket stub. It should be in an envelope. I'm looking because I wanted to show you guys that what tickets used to cost. They were cheap in my day. It's in an envelope in here somewhere. But we did this smash book on YouTube. I did it with some friends. And we had prompts we had to follow. It was a lot of fun. Look, here's even some of my favorite candy. I used to love bottle caps at the movie theater. And I like Good and Plenty's. Like we had to put all of our favorite stuff in here. And this is something that'll never end. When you start a smash book, you can continue to do. Here it is. This should be my envelope right here. Let me get this open without ripping it. My ticket should be down in here. Oh no, here's a picture of the concert. Hold on, this is funny. We weren't allowed to take cameras in to the concerts. They really didn't allow you. But I snuck a 110 in, so the pictures aren't the greatest. This was Def Leppard. There's the lead singer with his hand up in the air. Here was the lights. Too bad we didn't have good cameras back then. But here was the Night Ranger ticket. Look here. Night Ranger was $11.50. That's all you paid to get into a concert there. And then the Def Leppard tickets were $19.75. I think I said 1994. They were $19.75 to get into a concert. Seriously. That's how cheap they were back then. Is that like not crazy? I know. Now you can't even touch a concert. Oh, I know. I had all of this stuff kept and put away. Look, there's both of his hands in the air. but the pictures are grainy. But hey, I know who they were. I was there. This is probably the clearest one I have. And then seeing their drummer after the accident play with one arm, that was crazy. He used his foot to compensate where he lost his arm. But yeah, these are all my concert listings in my. But Smash books are great because you can store this kind of stuff. But that's my concert stuff. And I'm missing a Def Leppard book. I think they quit doing it, but I do have a couple keychains too. But that's fun. Okay, so we're going to start into books. I have books in my buy it now. I have books in my auction. I have books galore. Thank you. Well, I'm glad you got to stop in and say hello. I know you're a busy boy. It's probably hard for you to sit still. You got so much energy. So the first book I have, who came in over here? Hey, wait, Tupac. Hello, hello. I see you on YouTube. Okay. This is A Secret Rage by Charlaine Harris. And like I said, some of the books I have has got a little bit of darkness to them. I think this is in the book itself, this color. Because it's not moldy and it's not wet. It almost looks like they smudged it, but then the brown from age come over it. This is a 1984. It says Nikki Callahan can handle herself, but after a successful yet brief career as a model in New York City, she's looking forward to letting down her guard in the sleepy college town of Knowles, Tennessee. Living with her best friend, she plans on carving out a new future for herself by studying to be a writer. But the women of the Knowles are not safe, and as Nikki gets swept up in a string of brutally violent crimes, she must take matters of justice into her own hands. So that is the first book up for today. Hey, Good Vibe. Hey, Joel. Welcome, welcome. I forgot to pin it first, of course, because I'm slow today. I come across some books that belong to sets, and I'm trying to get them together. And I went to look up this one guy's books. Oh my God, he's got 400. I was like, what? I probably won't have all of his, but I do have some that I do have sets of, but I'm trying to get them together before I put them on here. And making these lists is crazy because I can't print them, because if you print them offline, it uses too much ink because it prints all the crap around it. It's hard to just get like a memo pad type list. So I've been writing them out by hand. Then I ran out of notebook paper. That's how many books these two guys have that's out. And I'm trying to get my Louis L'Amour Westerns in order. I got so many books. Oh, it's overwhelming sometimes. And then I had a lady call on my phone a month ago asking if I wanted more. I'm like, no, I can't take any more right now. I got to get rid of books. I got too many. Okay. So these are the action and suspense ones right now. This is 1976. There's a little rip right there. This is The Ghost Flight 401 by John G. Fuller. And it looks like it's trying to pull away a little bit here on the front. But the story's all there. Like I said, I go through every single book so you get your story. And this one is In the Dead of the Night, in December 1972, Eastern Airlines jumbo jet flight 401 plunged into the Florida Everglades, killing 101 passengers and crew. Months later, the ghost of its pilot and flight engineer, begin to appear on sister ships carrying parts salvaged from the crash. Ace investigative reporter John Fuller heard the rumors of the ghost and swore he would uncover the true story, no matter how bizarre. At first, airline employees, fearful of retribution, refused to talk, but Fuller persisted, and finally, one after another, stewardesses, pilots, and ground crews came forth to tell one of the most astonishing stories in recent aviation history. This is their fate, a hair-raising jet age ghost story that can no longer be denied. So we get a spooky one. Welcome in. Hey, Caroline and Andrea. It feels weird for me not to type and greet everybody because I'm so used to doing that on YouTube. But you don't got enough time over here. But I was rummaging through some boxes and I haven't got them out yet. Thanks for your purchase, whoever purchased. I missed it. I saw Stephen King peeking out of some of my boxes in there. I didn't even think I had any of his books. I had one hardback that I had to give to a friend because it was weird. It was like a brand new hardback, but like you saw typing this way and this way, and then it was blank down the center of like 3 pages in the book. I was like, I wonder how many they printed like that before they realized it. But you can't really get anything back for that. You know, if you call it, it's not like a penny that's got something wrong with it. You get money. You know, I found a book that had 119 pages repeated. It's amazing what you find when you go through books. But I just found the pages online and penciled in and gave it to a friend because I can't sell a book like that because, you know, it was messed up. But it was too funny. I wish I could have saved it as an example. And here is the next one. We have Before and Again by Doris Mortman. This one's in better condition. Like I said, some of these books I actually saved from being recycled, so they definitely have some issues, and plus some are used. This here, it's got like a rip right here, some bends, but a lot of these books were getting ready to be destroyed, and I'm like, no, if they're in decent enough condition, I'll sell them. But then some of them, of course, I had to recycle because they were really bad shape. So this is a 2003. Her dreams may be the key. After years of suffering for terrible nightmares, Callie Jamison's mother took her own life when Callie was just a little girl. Now a successful investigative reporter, Callie has done all she can do to put the past behind her, but lately she's been having the same disturbing dream that drove her mother mad, right down to the chilling murder at the end. To discovering the secrets from her past, anxious and exhausted, Callie must put aside her personal demons when she's assigned to an investigative article on the death of Wilty Hale. Wilty was the sole heir to the Frame Hale fortune. He was also Callie's ex-lover. His suspicious death was all of New York asking, was it murder or suicide? But they could also destroy her future. Joining forces with detectives Ezra Chapin, Callie learns that right before his death, Wilty was poised to expose the scandalous family secret, but as she sifts through all the evidence, Callie also closes in on the root of her own nightmares and startling connection between past and present that could prove deadly. So this gives you an idea what some of the books are about, and then when people come back to, you can watch past things to see the conditions and stuff like that. But I will bring them back out, but it'll have to be the next sale if it's in the store bin. The only ones I can show are the ones in auction, and I don't go in any specific order. So if you see something auction you want to see, just speak up, and I will gladly show you the book. Because I know when I go out and shop for books, I look at the conditions. Sometimes I'll even flip through them, especially children's books. I can't tell you how many of those have ripped pages, but I think it's because of kids. But I always try to have them in the best condition as I can get them when I do. This one here is really beat up. And you'll notice I will put like fair or poor, but the stories are there. Just know that you're not going to get ripped pages when you see those. Look at this one, how filthy this looks. And they are clean too. They just loved This was the raise of the Titanic. So I can only imagine how many people read this one. The inside's pretty fair, but the outside looks like somebody with greasy hands got a hold of it. This was in 1976 by Clive Cussler. Clive is really a good writer. I've read a few of his books, and I like Clancy too. Tom Clancy's another really good writer. First time I found Tom Clancy was in a Reader's Digest. I was impressed with his books too. Raise the Titanic. From the opening moments when the Titanic crashes into the iceberg, perishes in the greatest sea distaste of the something. That word's kind of weighted out on the back of the book. You'll get caught up in the astonishing, spellbinding blockbuster, a superb novel of terror and mystery. In her hold, an incredibly rare substance that could ensure America's security from a foreign attack forever. The Russians want it, the Americans want it, and you want to read this riveting tale of suspense. He put his own twist into it. It's what he did. This great adventure thriller, which spins from one dizzying climax to another and keeps you so adapted it to come to a close. I like books that I never want to end. But that is The Raise of the Titanic. And just because it's about the Titanic, it doesn't mean I raise the price. If it's in a condition that I think it's $1, then that's what I'm going to put it in as. I don't know about you guys, but it was hot here today. Talk about humidity. Ugh. I hate when you walk out the door and your breath gets taken away. But we had a great day yesterday. It was cool. We finally got rain. We needed rain so bad. Our state was under like a state of an emergency for drought. But all the rain was so nice yesterday. I was actually looking forward to it. We need more though. The next one is Eye of the Needle by Ken Follett. It's got some dark looks to it. This is what this one looks like. This is from 1979. The best spy novel of the year. His codename was The Needle. He was tall, handsome, German aristocrat of extraordinary intelligence, England's most dangerous enemy. He knew the secret that could win the war for Hitler. She was Lucy Rose, a beautiful young Englishwoman torn between her burning desire and her blinding duty. She was the only one who could stop him. Extraordinarily satisfying, a true suspenseful novel. Heart-stopping, nerve-freezing terror. Always got to give it dramatic words. So there's that one. Yes, I hate the humidity. It's like I take my dog out because we don't have a fenced-in yard, so whenever she goes out, I have to take her out. And it's like that air hits, and she's just looking. I'm like, yeah, I know, Roan. She don't want to get up off the couch. She looks at me like, do I got to go to the bathroom? I have to convince my dog it's time to go to the bathroom because she don't want to move. Alrighty, will you get some rest? I know what that's like. Sometimes I come down here at work at night because it's so hot during the day, and I don't get to bed till 5 in the morning, and I'm like so tired. I don't have a regular sleeping schedule right now in the summer. I do better when fall comes. I take naps. But thanks for stopping. So there's that book. The next one I have, this one's called Swindle. Definitely aged. You can even see the marks on this page. This is from 1989. Look at that pink spot. I don't even know what that, I don't know if that was on the book or somebody put it there. It says Charlie Byrne is a high fashion photographer, a part-time bicycle racer, and a full-time lover. Manhattan is his playground. But when his sexy stylist loses $50,000 to a phony investment scheme, Charlie makes his first mistake. With the help of an out of work actor and a very busy hustler, he sets out to scam the scammers and get the money back. Instead, he finds a money mad netherworld of insider trading, wise guys, murder, and sex, and there's no telling the good guys from the bad. A gorgeous woman and a Wall Street wizard are the heavy hitters in a ruthless game to separate New York's most beautiful people from their money. Charlie Byrne has wandered right into the middle of a nightmare that can only happen in New York, and getting out will be as simple as staying alive. So that is Swindle. I don't know if I'll try again to get that nurse in here too, because I wanted her to know that I pulled her books that she was looking for. But like I said, if you see a book from the bin, I can pull it for next week because I don't have those near me. I only have the auction books near me. I'm trying to get everything organized, so it takes a minute. Okay, the next one we have, it's called Single and Single. Look at that cover. That's pretty wild. It's got some more dark edges on the inside of the book. The rest of the book looks pretty good. Just the front and back. It's a 1999 by John Le Carre. It says, from Single and Single Tour de Force opening, Le Carte, Le Carrere masterfully establishes a sequence of events. I think his name's French, whose connections are mysterious, complex, and compelling. He fashions a story of corrupt liaisons between criminal syndicates and in the Russian states and the legitimate world of Western finance. He also intimately portrays two families, one Russian, the other English, one trading illicit goods, the other laundering the profits, one betrayed by his son-in-law, the other betrayed and redeemed by his son. An enthralling multi-layered tale by an author at the height of his creative powers. Single and Single is Le Carre's finest novel in years. So that's what that one's about. Have a nice mixture. Oh, this fan feels good down here. I have a fan, but I don't know if you guys can hear it though. Trying to keep cool. Okay, let me see what the next one is. Oh, she's a good author. So the next one we have is Mary Higgins Clark. Nighttime is My Time. Some dark pages. This colored, I should say. And then there's the back. It's a 2004. Historian Jean Sheridan returns to Cornwall-on-Hudson, New York, excited about her 20-year high school reunion at Stonecroft Academy. But a dear friend of hers soon becomes the fifth woman in the class to meet a sudden, mysterious end. Then Jean receives the taunting facts about a child she gave up for adoption, whose existence she had kept a secret, but whose life may now be in danger. For present at the reunion is the Owl, a murderer on a mission of vengeance against women who once humiliated him, and Jean is the final intended victim. So we'll run that. Hey, Drifter, welcome, welcome. Sometimes I come on here and I'll listen to a sale if I'm not shopping, and people put me to sleep. I've actually fallen asleep during a train and woke up and I'm like, where the heck am I? I'm not in Kansas anymore. I don't know these people. Kidlet, she's messaging me. I love how people message you during a live. I'm going to stick my tongue out at her. Okay. It's like, come visit me if you see me live. Okay, here is the next one. This one is called Funeral in Blue by Anne Perry. I even like the cover of this book. Look how old that looks. Looks vintage. Like a vintage picture. So this one's not in too bad a shape. Not as much discoloration. This is from 2001. My cheat sheets. Shh, don't tell nobody. Two beautiful women have been strangled in the studio of a well-known London artist. To investigator William Monk and his wife Hester, the murders are a nightmare. One of the victims is the wife of Hester's cherished colleague, surgeon Dr. Kristen Beck, a Viennese emigre who becomes the prime suspect. With an intensity born of desperation, Hester and Monk seek evidence that will save him from the hangman. From the city's sinister slums to the crowded coffee houses of Vienna, where embers of the revolution will burn in the hearts of freedom-loving men and women, they seek to penetrate not only the mystery of Alyssa Beck's death, but the riddle of her life. That sure looks like a good read. And next, speaking of Tom Clancy, I actually have a Tom Clancy book. It's a nice big one, too. Pull it out and get it ready. Don't fall, because I don't feel like having a book pick up right now. Okay, so the next book, get it tagged here. This is actually Without Remorse by Tom Clancy. That's what the book looks like. Jacket and everything's in pretty good condition. It's got a stamp there, a little bit of speckles on the pages, but overall the rest of it's in pretty good condition. And we know the book pages are there. This is from 1993. Two missions, two wars, one man, and time running out. Over the course of 7 novels, Tom Clancy's genius for big, compelling plots and his natural narrative gift has mesmerized tens of millions of readers and established him as one of the preeminent storytellers of our time. Without Remorse, however, goes beyond anything he's ever done. Its hero is John Kelly, a man well familiar to Clancy readers by his code name, Mr. Clark. In the sum of all fears, he hunted down nuclear terrorists, and clear in the present danger, he led aerial raids against drug lords. In The Cardinal of the Kremlin, he spirited away the KGB chief's family by submarine, but nothing will ever be as deadly or as personal as the danger he must face without remorse. John Kelly, former Navy SEAL and Vietnam veteran, is still getting over accidental death of his wife 6 months before when he befriends a young man with a decidedly checkered past. Look how thick this book is. It's a lot of reading. When the past reaches out for her in a particularly horrifying fashion, he vows revenge and assembling all of his old skill sets out to track down the men responsible before it can happen again. At the same time, the Pentagon is readying an operation to rescue a key group of prisoners in the North Vietnamese prisoner of war camp. One man they find knows the terrain around the camp better than anyone else they have, a certain former Navy SEAL named John Kelly. Kelly has his own mission. The Pentagon wants him for theirs. Attempting to juggle the two, Kelly, now codenamed Mr. Clark, finds himself confronted by a vast array of enemies, both at home and abroad. Men so skillful that the slightest misstep means death, and the fate of a dozen people, including Kelly himself, rests on making sure that misstep never happens. Men aren't born dangerous, they grow dangerous. And the most dangerous of all, Kelly learns, are the ones you least expect. As Clancy takes us through the twists and turns of Without Remorse, he blends the exceptional realism and authenticity that are his hallmarks with intricate plotting, knife-edge suspense, and a remarkable cast of characters. This is Clancy at his best, and there is none better. And he does write amazing books. I have to say, he does. Hey, Bud Files. I see you over there on YouTube. I'm actually able to see you all now. I love it. I hope you're having a great week. Put this down here. I'm going to try to see if I can tag this person in here one more time at CKG. We'll see if that works. So anyway, if she decides to come in, and I actually have these on review, it was The Perfect Bride, The Loom of Terror, and The Innocent Heiress. So if she wants to see these, I have them pulled. All right. Next, we go to biblical. So the first book we have definitely has a line through it, definitely aged. This is a 1972 book. It's called The Story Bible, Volume 1 from the Old Testament by Pearl S. Buck. It's a magnificent retelling of the Old Testament. Pearl S. Buck displays the genius for language, the storytelling skill, the human compassion that had made her one of the great writers of our time. Here in the words that are once wonderfully clear and thrilling beautiful are immortal stories that have captured the human imagination down through the centuries and now have been made accessible in all their power and immediacy to the reader of today. I think she breaks it down to where you can understand it better, because some people have a hard time with King James. So she rewrote it. I'm glad you guys on YouTube get to see this too. And if you're ever interested, you know where to find me. Come into my comment section. Let me know if you're looking for anything specific. I need to get my Facebook on here too. I had to update my website too. Hey, Lady Tagalong. Welcome in. I hope you're having a good day. So the next book we have, it's called The Greatest Miracle in the World by O.G. Mandino. This is from 1975. A great inspirational writer tells his greatest story, an amazing narrative that will hold you spellbound as it reveals exciting new secrets of your personal happiness and success. All of these are under biblical because they do quote the Bibles. That's why I put them under there. But welcome in. Anything you want to see, just let me know in the auction part. If you want to see something in the bin, I can pull it for the next show. I need to put that in my notes. I keep forgetting to do that. This next book does not have the jacket. So what I do with my non-jackets is I actually will look up and put the synopsis in on paper if I need to. This has got a little bit of spotting on the book cover on the front and just that area. This is from 1961. But I didn't put one in this one because this is just a New English Bible, New Testament by Oxford University Press and Cambridge University Press in 1961. So there's no need for a synopsis when it comes to the Bible. It's just read it. But sometimes it is interesting when you go through books and you're trying to figure out what some of the genres even are. It's a wild. I did find some good cookbooks though. But it's funny how they even title them on whatnot because cookbooks are called baking. You can make up your own category. I put mine under cookbooks. I don't call them baking books. I call them cookbooks. But it is funny because sometimes you got to put your own custom title in. The next book we have, this one's called Promises to Keep: Daily Devotions for Men Seeking Integrity by Nick Harrison. I actually really like daily devotional books. I don't know about you all, but you can tell this was definitely loved. It's got some spotting on the outside, and there's a great big message in here that some girl named Gina wrote for Marcus. So whoever gets the book, that's your ephemera part. It's your story to keep. This was 1996 is the copyright. And it says, a profound new movement is sweeping across America. Christian men are coming together to make a difference in their families, churches, businesses, and communities. They are helping one another acknowledge a deep-seated need for hunger, for spiritual nourishment, and Christian fellowship. They are sharpening one another's understanding of what it means to be a man today. The first book of daily meditations created expressively for men in search of spirituality. Promises to Keep draws together the words of hundreds of prominent Christian authors and leaders. Offering inspiration and motivation, this little treasure provides the spiritual dimensions lacking in the lives of so many and proves that men can be as strong and tender, can lead without tyranny, can be authoritative without arrogance, and can have relationships with each other that are full of meaning, insight, and even love. As iron sharpens iron, so one man sharpens another. Proverbs 27:17. That looks like an interesting read. Hello, welcome in. Hey, Winnegar. Hey, Nyla. All day. I think it's how you say your name. Raya. All day. My eyes are getting bad. I need another eye appointment. I think it says Raya. Sorry. Don't mean to butcher names. Sometimes it happens. I have a teeny tiny little screen to read. The next one I have, this one's called Breaking Faith. I like reading about other country stuff too. It says the Sandinista Revolution, its impact on freedom and Christian faith in Nicaragua by Humberto Belli. This is in 1986. This is in really good condition. And it says, inside Nicaragua, why are Christians both in and outside so divided over Sandinista rule? Who are the Sandinistas? How did they come to power? What do they seek to accomplish? Humberto Belli, native Nicaraguan lawyer and sociologist, is eminently qualified to grapple with these questions. Bell was an active member of the Sandinista Front until 1975. After his decision to become a Christian, he was the editorial page editor for La Prensa, an independent newspaper, when total censorship prevented the open debate of religious and theological issues in the press. Belli decided to leave his country and help Christians outside of Nicaragua. Sometimes these words are a mouthful. Understand the religious dimensions of dissension in Latin America. So this looks like definitely an interesting type of book to read. Hey Chuck, how are you? Hey John. It's like a revolving door. I wish on here it would show people coming in and then showing them leave, and then coming in and then leaving. All you see is them coming in, but you don't see when they disappear. Sometimes you're in a live and people are like, who's all left? I remember Yahoo chat days. You could see people up to the right hand side of your screen. I wish all the platforms were like that. It'd be nice. So here is Disciplines of the Beautiful Women by Anne Ortland. I read a little bit of this. This is actually a really good book. Love this. The front of this is really cool. It's got a couple of pages. It's the same. It says 1984, and it's the inside. For every woman who wants to truly be beautiful from the inside out, Anne Ortland gives practical, specific suggestions, hints for managing a schedule, maintaining a wardrobe, organizing a personal notebook, sections on prayer, meditation, and discipling combine practical hows with thoughtful and considered whys. Anne Ortland is concerned with the beauty of the whole woman. Young and old, homemakers and career women can all profit from this sound advice on how to live beautifully. And it is a very heartfelt written book. It's very interesting. You can have beauty on the outside, be ugly on the inside. But you got to have a good soul. That's what I like about that book. It's awesome. Oop. I just swiped myself out of my own sale. Nice. I'm good at that too. How many times we go to click on something and we just swipe ourselves out. Next book we have, this one here, is The Holy Spirit, a Pentecostal interpretation. So if you're of Pentecostal faith, by L. Thomas Holcroft. This is in 1992. The little stain right there. And then back here it says, the interest in the work and the ministry of the Holy Spirit has increased remarkably in recent years. Although many books have been written on this vital subject, there are few with a Pentecostal viewpoint that handle the subject as clearly and completely as does Thomas L. Holcroft in this important work. His 35 years of experience as a teacher-preacher have given him keen insight to the work and ministry of the Holy Spirit. Director of the Canadian Pentecostal Correspondence College, the author was for 19 years president of Western Pentecostal Bible College, Claiborne, British Columbia. So that is a Holy Spirit book. Get it running. Hey, CKG, I did pull your books. If you're still interested, you let me know. I wanted to tag you because I have a few people on tag. I have a handy-dandy little notebook when people are looking for specific authors and stuff and they want me to tag them. But like I said, the only thing gets around me is what's in auction. If it's in the bin, I have to pull it for the next sale. Because my bookstore, I mean, it's a story. Like it's not that you asked a bad question, don't get me wrong. It's just that when COVID shut my bookstore down, I started turning it into a craft room. And well, let's just say I got a little polluted between craft supplies and books. So my books are coming off the shelves as I was doing these shows. Some are still in boxes. They're going into totes. And I'm sorting them as I'm doing the sales. That's why I have to do it this way, because I'm getting rid of some of my bookshelves because my bookstore is becoming my craft room, if that makes any sense. Hey, W. Nadala. So these are the books. I'll show you. I pulled for you that you requested. I have your list. So this one here is called The Perfect Bride. So you can see the shape that they're in. And this is from 1994. It's like some of them got that little age on them. This is Serena Fairburn. Should have been the happiest young ladies, for she could look forward to the best of marriages. Soon she would be the bride to fabulously wealthy Cedric, Duke of Cornwall, and her family would be rescued from financial ruin. Shortly she should not look this golden gift horse in the mouth. She should not worry that Cedric was smitten with another woman, one more beautiful and talented than she, or that Cedric's mother was bent on keeping an iron grip on her son, or that Cedric's cousin, the devilishly handsome, rakish Earl of Linton, made Serena feel as the Duke never did. Desperately, Serena told herself that the wedding bells would be drawn out, those discordant notes, even as the beating of her heart rose to a dangerous pitch in the presence and the power of the man she thought she could not afford to love, the perfect bride. So there's one. The next one is The Loom of Terror. It's got a little bend right there, by Paula Minton. Definitely another aged book from 1968. The Ghost of Guilt. Vivian Harnesty was alone as a few young women have ever been, alone with her poignant memories of those new brief, happy days with her parents, alone with the burden of guilt she had carried since her father's death and her mother's disappearance. Slowly, painstakingly, she had built a new life for herself, her Aunt Matilda, and helped even while serving as a constant reminder of her parents' sins. But now, as Vivian came of age and acquired her true inheritance, she realized she could never have a bright future until the ghosts of the past were laid to rest. Ghosts are not her only problem. There was hope for romance, but only if she could rid herself of all the ghosts and the guilt first. This actually looks like a good read, but it is definitely an older book. And then the last one you requested was The Innocent Heiress by Barbara Cartland. Like I said, some of these are in rough shape. Some of these were getting ready to be recycled, and I kind of saved them because the stories are there. The books are just old. Like the bend there. This is from 1950. So this is an older book. To have made it that long, though, is pretty cool. It's got a little tear right there, so you know. He was altogether the wrong sort of guardian for a beautiful young heiress, a worldly rake, a heartbreaker, to guard the morals of the innocent child just out of school. But such was the fascination of the dashing Duke of Melcombe at Ravenna, could not leave his side. Her adoration led her into the gaming houses and worse, but always the Duke was there to rescue her. Was it only her fortune that attracted him? What if she were penniless? A strange twist of fate was given to Ravenna the answer. But I do go through the books to make sure there's no pages ripped out of them, just so you know, no matter how old they are, because those I wouldn't sell. I put them in recycling myself. So that is the book she requested. Hey, Firestorm. So it's up to you after you see the conditions if you still want them. The next one I have, we're in the biblical section. If you want to see anything in the auction tab, please feel free to let me know. This one is called In His Light. I love this cover. This is by Reverend William Anderson. This is what the book looks like. 1979. Using the familiar catechism format, Reverend William A. Anderson answers in terms of laypersons understand the questions that adults are asking about Catholicism today. Vitally concerned with adult religious education and catechesis over 15 years, as pastoral teacher, retreat master, and member of the Diocese of Wheeling Evangelization Commission, F.R. Anderson has worked to help adults understand what the contemporary church is saying about its mission, message, and ministry. Out of that experience and the urging of evangelization commission comes In His Light. So there's that book. Hey, talk, amuta. I can't say that word. That's a tongue twister. Hey, poker. All right, well, if you want one of the books, all you have to do is go into the bin and purchase it. The Loomer Terror. You can type in the title. It should bring it up in the bin, and you can get it that way. Because it's not in my auction part. So that's just the price I left it at. The next book I have in the biblical, this is a youth one. This is kind of interesting. It's almost like a little bit of a workbook type. I think that's what this one is. But look how the bottom of that got real dirty, but the rest of it is not bad. And I do go in and clean these off as best I can. 1971. Reach Out, Youth for Christ International. It's got like this little envelope in there. Somebody could use that as ephemera if you're a crafter. And it's like a nice breakdown reading. Before anything else existed, there was Christ with God. He's always been alive, is himself God. He created everything. There is nothing that exists that he didn't make. But although he made the world didn't recognize him when he came. John 1:1-3 and 10. But it's like kind of like a youth book where a person could read and take notes. I like when they have questions, books that have questions where you get an answer, almost like school books. I think those are fun. Okay, and then the last one I have here in biblical, this is a nice big hardback. This one is called The Peaceable Kingdom by Jan Z. Hardog. And this here, the jacket is definitely beat up. Definitely an older looking book. It's got the deckled edges and some specks on it. There's a different color there. This is from 1971. And this one says, like most American sagas, the story of the Quaker starts in Europe. In Lancashire, England, one summer afternoon of 1652, when two horsemen blundered into the quicksands of Morecambe Bay. One of those horsemen was George Fox, and the manor from which he was observed was Swarthmore Hall, presided over by Margaret Fell. From the passionate meeting of these two grew the religious society of Friends, and out of the Quaker history, Jan D. Hardog has created this epic novel, a work of imagination bursting from the vitality of greatness in character and faith in story. From its gripping start in the England of Cromwell to its immensely moving climax in American wilderness, The Peaceable Kingdom tells the story of the children of the light and their holy experiment. Here there are many based on people who lived generation after generation, founding a new faith, seeking freedom in the new world, achieving a unique peace with the Indians, subduing the wilderness, struggling with the agonizing issue of slavery, experiencing triumphs of faith in deeds and defeats by nature and human frailty. I was moved, said D. Hortig, to erect a monument to these generations who transmitted the love of God through their lives rather than their words. Perhaps the greatest achievement of this passionate novel lies in its revelation of the miracle of compassion, which is at the heart of the Quaker movement. So, this is about the Quakers. Hey, Moon. Moonlit Treasures. So, that is the religious set, which I call biblical. These over here. Back in order. Okay. So the next category, we're going to hit into romance, but hold on a minute. I think my app quit. I'm going to have to restart it. People are coming in and I can't see who they are. I hate when whatnot slows up like that. Let me fix it. Then we get into the smutty books. There we go. It still isn't working right. I don't know why it's doing that. Give me 1 second. Force stop. Wait a few minutes, seconds. And we're going into romance, so that will be this section. There. So we will scroll down. Okay. So Blaze is called, there's Harlequin Blaze, which is a set. And this one here is Watch Me, Catch Me, Kiss Me by Lisa Renee Jones. Definitely been loved. You see the crease. This is a 2012 book. It says, Making Dreams Come True. 12 young dancers are competing for the dream. Only one will win. But with sabotaged sets and flooded living quarters, the curse threatens both competitors and crew. And unless she could turn this train wreck into a TV triumph, producer Megan Tippin's dream will be the curse's last victim. Enter security head, a former Special Forces soldier, and all-around pain in Megan's butt, Sam Keller. He's a nightmare and the stuff that X-rated dreams are made of, but as tensions between Megan and Sam become increasingly explosive, their only choices is to get it all out and take it all off. So there you go, a romance book. And it is running for $1. And if you're coming in and I don't see you, sorry. Hey, David. The next one is a romance called Heart of a Bull Rider by Tina Leonard. It's got a little bit of writing there, a little bit of initials, a stamp on that, and it is a 2009. It says, the billionaire, when New York billionaire John Carruth is summoned to No Chance, Texas to save the local rodeo. He has no idea he's going home. Now the long-lost twin to the town's favorite son is determined to win over people he left behind and capture the heart of Chloe Winters, a Texan who has her own ideas of what it means to be part of a small town. The bull rider, Jake Fitzgerald, champion bull rider, didn't know he had another half. John may be kin, but he's still a stranger in these parts. With his billionaire brother hell-bent on changing Jake's world, Jake knows he has to take a stand. Will he choose family or will he take a chance on Erin O'Donovan, the woman who has always meant family to him? So that is the next book, running at $1. Hey, Maura Axa. Welcome in. I think this is how you pronounce your name. Okay, next we have A Love Inspired. These are so cool. Love-inspired, heartwarming, inspirational romance, A Mother's Promise, Ruth Scofield. It's in good condition. It's a 2006, and this is what it's about. Trust and new beginnings. Who knew a fresh start could be so hard? Not single mom Lisa Marley. She'd made her share of mistakes, but now she just wanted a chance to rebuild trust and to raise her daughter, Cicely. All she needed was her new faith. Not all too sure of himself, Ethan advanced from new beginnings at church. Widower Ethan could tell secrets hid behind Lisa's quiet facade. Between the challenges of raising three children, his church duties, and pursuing a long cherished dream, he took every opportunity to know her better. As their relationship grew, he wondered if Lisa held the key to his own beginnings too. So there is that one. I like the cover of that book. She's cute. It's kind of dead tonight. I wish my YouTube people would come over here and talk to me in the stream. Oh my goodness. Excuse me. The next book we have is called The Lawman's Surprise Family by Patricia Johns. This is also a love-inspired, heartwarming, inspirational romance. That's what the book looks like. It's got a little initial up there. Other than that, it's pretty good. 2016 copyright. Their secret child. For 8 years, journalist and single mother Sophia McCrae kept her son a secret from his maverick father. But when she returns to her small Montana hometown, her high school sweetheart isn't the rebellious teen she left behind. Ben Blake is a widowed cop who's been through heartbreak, and he wants their child in his life. When her next assignment throws Sophia together with a handsome police officer in his squad car, she discovers just how much he truly cares about his community, their son, and her. Now Sophia must learn to trust her own heart to reunite a family that's meant to be together. So there is that book. Hey Chuck, how are you? Welcome in, Wingman. Welcome back, Drifter. I like typing in names. This keeps me up on typing. So when I tag you, it's not to irritate you. It's because I'm practice typing. I need the practice. I'm out of typing practice. Okay. So the next book we have, it also helps when you mod for people too. This one is called Winning Over the Cowboy by Shannon Taylor Van Matter. It's got a couple of little people initial that read it. It's a 2017. It's in good condition. There's a stamp there though. I think a bookstore owned this. Before me, another bookstore. It's a marker. The rancher stakes his claim when she inherits Half a Dude Ranch after losing her best friend. Laundry Malone is determined to see Eden's legacy flourish. That is, if her friend's broad-shouldered cowboy brother would give her the chance. Chase Donovan isn't happy that his sister left their family business to an outsider, and he's determined to test Laundrie's mettle, hoping she'll give up her claim. Soon Chase is impressed by Laundrie's ability to rise to every challenge she puts in her way, and worried that his attraction to the perky Spitfire seems to know no end. Finally working together to ensure the ranch's future and their business partnership be the foundation for something more. So it is running. Oh, it's so hot. Ugh, it's hot down here. I must have set them over here. Let me scooch these here. If you want to see anything in the auction, feel free to speak up. I will show you the book. Hey, 408 collect. What's it say? 405 collectibles. It's funny how I'll see people on my laptop, but I don't see you enter on my phone. That's weird. It does that every so often. So the next book is called Hill Country Reunion by Myra Johnson. It's also a love-inspired, heartwarming, inspirational romance. It says larger print, and it is a little bit larger than the older ones. There's one initial. This is from 2018. It says his Texas sweetheart. Veterinarian Trip Willoughby returns to his hometown of Juniper Bluff, knowing he has no right to ask for forgiveness. He thought keeping his Crohn's disease a secret was the right thing to do. I know a couple who have Crohn's disease. It's definitely takes a toll on you. But he ended up breaking his college girlfriend's heart. Now Diana Matthews has a new life, running a cafe and working with animals. Reluctantly, she accepts his help with her pet therapy program, and as the furry animals bring them together, Trip remembers how things used to be with Diana, and is convinced that he must find a way to reveal the truth and win her back. So we will start this. Hey Books, Bricks, and Kicks. That's a cute name. Welcome, welcome. That is catchy. Bricks and Kicks. That's cute. Okay. Next we have another love-inspired, heartwarming, inspirational book called The Rancher's Christmas Bride by Brenda Minton, also in a larger print. Honors stamp 2017. It is a cowboy for Christmas. And I think I have a comparison. Yes. This is the original print. And then this is what it means by larger print. It's not real big, but it's bigger than what it was. So yeah, there's that. Okay. After being jilted at the altar, all Marissa Walker wants for Christmas is to escape her life. Fleeing to Bluebonnet Springs and the ailing grandfather she's never known seems like the perfect solution. But when her limo breaks down, neighboring rancher Alex Palermo comes to her rescue. With his ranch in jeopardy, Alex can't afford any distractions right now until he sees a bedraggled runaway bride on the side of the road. Alex can't turn his back on the spunky city girl, and soon his priority becomes convincing her to stay, because Christmas in his future would be much merrier with Marissa as his bride. So that is that book. Welcome in, Crime Paul and Ms. 1000. MCS 1, 1, 2, 3. See if this works. Yes, practice typing. Okay, so let me get past the Christmas. Love the face on this book. This book is just stinking cute. Look at this dog. He's like sticking his face in there like, I want to see what you're doing. Like, hello. Anyways, this is a Harlequin American romance. Texas born by Anne Diffie. 2006. It's got people that just put their initials in it. Other than that, it's in good shape except for that honor stamp. And it says, he's sexy, he's funny, and he loves dogs. What more could a girl want? Dr. Olivia Alvarado, town vet, and sometime coroner of the Port Serenity, Texas, is nobody's fool. So when Sheriff C.J. Baker charged into her life, the last thing Livy expected was a broken heart. She should have known better because he seemed absolutely perfect for her, and nothing's ever perfect. Finding out that C.J. was already married just about killed Olivia. And there's a lot she doesn't know about CJ's marriage, like the fact that it was for Selena's protection. Now that Selena's safe and he's safely divorced, CJ wants Olivia back. When they're thrown together in a bizarre case, Olivia can't avoid spending time with CJ or falling for him all over again. But when Selena shows up in Port Serenity, so what's a girl to think? So we have a cute pooch. I'm going to take a drink of my water. Because I'm thirsty. And welcome in, Fleming's Finds. Welcome, welcome. I'm typing your name. So like I said, I'm finding out how fast I can type by greeting people. But it also helps with modding when you get to mod for people. So I can tag people in my stream. But anyways, if you see anything in the auction, please feel free to let me know. If you want to see the conditions of the books or anything. I don't go in any specific order. Practicing my typing skills or texting skills. Okay. So this one here is a Silhouette Desire. It's called One Night with a Wealthy Rancher by Brenda Jackson. This is a 2009, and it says Texas Cattlemen's Club member Darius Foster is tired of women chasing after his millions, but his jaded heart is about to get a jump start. The wealthy rancher never expected to see Summer Martindale in his part of Texas. Darius was still trying to forget that incredible night they'd spent together, a night they would never have happened, certain she had relocated just to get close to him and his money. The ex-lawman vowed to keep his distance, but when danger came a-calling, Darius knew he was the only one who could protect Summer, and that meant getting closer to her in every way. I'm surprised I missed this. At the bottom. I hate when they stick stickers. Look how nasty that sticker looks on that book. Ugh, I need to get some more undo to remove some of these. Some of these stickers just screw everything up. Hey, Catwell, welcome in. If you see anything in the auction, please feel free to let me know. And I will show it to you if you have an interest. No pressure. I read the synopsis so people know what the books are about and show the conditions. Hey, Lee Big Fish, welcome in. Are you sure it was a big fish? Or was that just a fishing story? Oh, I have a hunting story to share with you if you were interested in hearing it. Because you know how we love our hunting stories. Well, at least I know I do. Oh, it's a restaurant. Well, that's cool. Well, anyways, I'll share the hunting story anyways. My husband's grandfather told him this story and it passed down in generations. He went turkey hunting and he said it was crazy because this turkey just didn't want to die. You're quite welcome. Hey, Golden. Hold on. Let me get you mod on here. So if you pop in and out. So anyways, he went turkey hunting and this turkey it was behind a log and he couldn't see it, because he's from a distance. So he said the turkey popped his head up and he shot it. And he's like, now I know I shot that turkey because the head came up a little bit later. And he was getting frustrated because he thought there was no way I missed that turkey because he was a good shot, Of course, sometimes people it goes to their head, but, he swore by this turkey. So then a little bit later, the head pops up again. He's like, you got to be kidding me. He says, there's no way I'm missing this turkey. So then finally he shot again the third time. So he waits and he decides to go over and check because he's like, there was no way he didn't miss this time. So he goes over and he finds 3 dead turkeys behind the log. He shared that with my husband. I was dying laughing. And then another one was my brother. If you remember, they used to have these little things that you could sink and weight it down in like the stream area and catch minnows to catch bigger fish. And it had a thing that would open up, like it had holes on both sides where the minnows could go in, but they were sharp on the inside where they like couldn't get back out. Well, my brother had one and he stuck it in the bottom of a stream. And I found it and I was like, oh my gosh, what is this? It's a contraption. These little fishes are in here. So I opened it up like, fishes go free, because that's me, I don't like see animals suffer. And my brother never knew for years that I kept letting his minnows go. And one day we were sitting at dinner and when we got older, I was sitting at the table and I said, do you remember the little minnow thing that you used to stick in the bottom of the stream? And he said, yeah. He says, that damn thing never worked. And I said, yes, it did. I just let him loose. You should have seen his face. It was priceless. He says, all that time, I never thought that catcher worked, and here I was letting him go. We laughed. Oh gosh, it was so funny. At least he wasn't mad at me. Hey, Lord Jupiter. But yeah, it was hysterical. I love sharing and listening to like hunting and fishing stories and stuff like that because I just think that stuff's cute. But yeah, it was funny. But I couldn't believe his grandfather killed 3 turkeys. He never thought about multiple being behind it. I thought it was a cute story. Okay, now we are on to the educational. So we are done with, or no, there was one more I didn't cover, wasn't there? Yeah, one more romance. This is the last one I didn't cover. See, I get to tell them stories and I mess myself up, but that's okay. So this one is called Man from Stallion Country by Annette Broderick. Then we go into the educational books. This is another Silhouette Desire. It's in pretty good condition, 2009. Beware of men on horseback. He thought his life was complete as owner of a successful Texas horse ranch. And soon to be married, Jordan Crenshaw had everything in order. So when gorgeous city gal Janine White stayed on his ranch for a few days, Jordan was positive that any attraction he might have felt for her was pointless until he suddenly found himself single once more. Now all bets are off. City girl wins the country boy. There we go. Jupiter. I hear you. I like those stories too. And then they're like this big. That's hysterical. I like when they get the pictures though. Well, my hunting experience was I was dating a guy who decided to take me in the woods. This was years ago. Because, I've been married for 35 years. So this is a long time ago. And it wasn't my husband, it was somebody else. So he takes me out in the woods. I actually wrote a story about it in college because it was so funny. I was trying to be quiet. And I was squatting down. I had the rifle across my knee. And I was sitting there so long that there was this weed sticking up, and a spider literally came over and spun a web from the weed to the gun I was holding. And I remember sitting there thinking, really? My legs were hurting. I wanted to just get up and stretch, and a spider made its way. And I'm thinking, is this really what hunting's all about? You just got to sit here and be quiet and watch the spider build a web. So I wrote a message about it when I was in college. It was just so funny. My teacher got the biggest kick out of it. And he kept going. I kept saying, hey, he's going, shh, can't talk. And I'm like, why? Oh my gosh, I'm terrible for hunting. I would suck at it. But I loved fishing. The only thing that I didn't like to do as a kid is I hated putting worms on the hook. I'm sorry, guys. I just can't do it. I can't bait another animal. It's just disgusting. My yard's full of fishing worms. I don't have a problem with fishing worms. I just don't want to bait them. It seems so cruel. So I decided to use Cocoa Puffs. And believe it or not, I caught a good many fish. They weren't edible though. I forget what type they were. It was they had a lot of bones in them. And I remember my brother telling me to just let them go because they weren't that real good edible type. Like they weren't fancy like bass or, something that you want to eat. But I remember catching them. I think, was it called fall fish or something? I can't remember. It was so long ago. But Cocoa Puffs. They like Cocoa Puff cereal. But you had to do it really fast because the cereal gets soggy. But I would rather use a fake bait over a real one. I know. I'm not a true fisherman. I can't help it. When I go camping, I want air conditioning. I used to like tents and no air conditioning as a kid. But come on. Now that I'm older, I don't want to sleep on the ground. I don't want to sleep in the heat. So I like my air conditioning too much. But I do like campers. I think campers are fun. If you have any stories to share, feel free because I love to hear about hunting stories and stuff like that. I think stuff like that's fun. Family time, the feel of nature, just getting back out. I want to take my dog swimming in one of the places here in the creeks. I got to find a good spot to take her swimming. I think she would enjoy it. So, this is called The Chizek Black Book by Robert Little. So the way they spell little is interesting. It's like Littell. So this is what the book looks like. Definitely aged from 1969. It says a proud voice of a people, termed a stunningly unique book, and the victim's description of the crime recorded while the crime was being committed by Robert Little. I can't even say the word now. Czechoslovakia. The Chizek Black Book is one of the most daring and revealing documents of modern history. Publishers Weekly said the book offers vividly, with documentary authenticity, an hour-by-hour, day-by-day narrative beginning with 2 eyewitness accounts of the takeover of the Prague airport on August 20th by the airborne Russian troops, followed by another eyewitness description of the arrest of Premier Cernik. During the incident, troops relieved ministry officials of their watches, a trifling discourtesy compared with later accounts of far more serious offenses, including many murders. The outraged impotence of the Czech government and people is made urgently clear, as is the revelation that the Russians came within a hair's breadth of forming a collaborationist government. The interviews, documents, and excerpts from many radio broadcasts, clandestine and official, fascinatingly chronicle an entire tragic episode. And somebody put in here from the Los Angeles Times, a remarkable chronicle of historical witness, an hour-by-hour account, extremely moving. Czechoslovakia will endure. Its history will be written and lived by truth. This book has already played its part. Sounds like a good one. Some of these books, as I said, I love reading books. Some of these books I wish I had time, but I have like a pile of yet to read. And thank you, GLD, for helping. Hey, Aurora Shaw. You are too cute. I like when people come in here and gab. Firestorm. The next book out of the educational section uh-oh. I have 2 books out of order for numbers for some reason. What did Tammy do? It's supposed to be 854. I get to edit this. 854. Okay, put you back in order. I messed up. Okay, my number was out of whack. Okay, that looks better. This one here has got the British flag. This is a history of the 20th century England, 1868 to 1962. That's what the book looks like. It's even got some kind of cardboard ephemera in there. I just leave the ephemerans in the book. This is 1960 through a short history of the 20th century England. by T.L. Jarman. And it says, a prominent historian examines the most decisive period of Britain's history. These were the crucial years when she victoriously defended her democratic sovereignty against foreign domination during 2 world wars, when her unrivaled power was surpassed by Russia and the United States. The death of her vast empire heralded the birth of the British Commonwealth, a visionary new concept of political solidarity. Democracy and World Conflict. Sounds like a good read to me. I like stuff like this. Hey, Barwinky. Name is so cute. What a cute name. How did you ever get a name like Barwinky? Was you winking in the bars? Usually, sometimes we look at a name and we think something completely different from what it means. That's too funny. What people assume with their imaginations. Okay, so the next educational book is the 27th City. Excuse me. A startling, scathing novel of American ambition, power politics, money corruption, and apathy by Jonathan Franzen. 1990 is the year this book was written. It says, acclaimed from coast to coast as one of the most exciting and original new voices in fiction today, Jonathan Franzen has written a beautifully rendered novel of suspense, corruption, and urban conspiracy. The 27th City is the story of S. Jammu, a ruthless, charismatic young woman from Bombay, India, and her irresistible rise to power as chief of St. Louis Police Department. Extraordinary and compelling, this tale of greed, apathy, and dark ambition explores the ultimate unraveling of the American dream. And I have this in the wrong category. This is supposed to be action and suspense. Oh my gosh, you can tell I was tired. Oh well. We're going to go ahead and leave it where it's at. I'll have to change it later. I was like, what? How is this educational? If it was true, yeah. Gotta shake my head at my own mistakes sometimes. I was tired when I did these too, so. I always mess up when I'm sleepy. Okay, so the next book we have this is actually a pocket field guide to nature. I love these type of books. You can tell this is old. Look at those staples. This is the property of those 2 people in a boat. This is from 1959. And it's got a whole bunch of critters in it. And it tells you what they are. Field guides are so cool. I know a lot of people like the Autobahns. And this is volume 1. And it starts at $2. If anybody's interested in nature stuff. This is actually would be a crafter's book too. I always keep hearing noises down here. It makes me wonder if I got a critter down here. I don't think I do though. I haven't seen any evidence yet. I know I got a spider. A few spiders. Okay, let me see here. Oh, this would be good for somebody who's in nursing. Put this aside. This is called Holistic Handbook for Practice, second edition, by Dossie, Keegan, Gazetta, and Kalkmere. It's got a little line right there in the book, but it's really in good shape. There's even a pamphlet in here I'll leave. Consumer Information Catalog from 2025. Look at the pretty leaves. Oh, I love fall. So anyways, this here, Holistic Nursing, a Handbook for Practice, second edition, 1995. It says therapeutic touch, massage, relaxation, guided imagery, music. Today, a growing number of nurses are using the best of ancient healing arts to complement traditional medical techniques with exciting results. You too can bring these powerful yet safe techniques into your work with patients with a new edition of the classic Holistic Nursing, a Handbook for Practice. This dynamic new guide shows you how to develop your innate capacities as a healer and employ a full range of holistic modalities for healing the whole patient. Today, the demand for alternative therapies is great. With the help of this inspiring handbook, you can bridge the gap between these therapists and traditional medicine with an approach that integrates caring and healing into nursing practice. This timely guidance will help nurses assume a leading role in shaping the future of healthcare and in return, nursing it to its roots as a true healing professional. And that is one thick read. It's a pretty book. It looks blue, but it's actually purple. It's like a purple color. Starting at $3. Check my YouTube. Nobody news coming. And then the next book we have, this would be here, would be good for some coin people. This is called Treasure Under Your Feet by Roy Volker and Dick Richmond, Adventure Handbook of Metal Detecting. This is a 1974 Treasure Under Your Feet. Treasure Under Feet is a treasure hunting compendium containing up-to-date information about all of the latest in electronic detecting devices available to the public. Today, more than ever, successful treasure hunting requires effective use of the most modern, though not necessarily expensive technology equipment. One can hardly expect to come across the valuable treasure simply by poking around with a stick. But planned exploration is one of the better metal detectors, which are described in detail following the instructions contained in this book, can and often does result in success. Not only do the authors list information on finding treasures in such everyday places as schoolyards, parks, beaches, old homes, and even your own backyard, but they also provide succinct information on treasure hunting in ghost towns, churchyards, rivers, in short, everywhere that dedicated treasure hunters should look with expectations of success. Volker's and Richmond's advice is not that of the book researcher only. However, though they do show how to use research materials, they also had much practical experience and much success. Not least, the book contains all the secrets the two authors have employed to discover treasure themselves, including those used in the discovery by Volker of the 1715 Spanish gold royal 8 Escudo coin valued at 75,000, and a single most valuable coin ever found by a treasure hunter. Treasure under your feet offers the key to just that. It will be essential reading for a growing body of increasingly serious hunters. So there you go, you metal detector people. And this starts at $3. Most of my books will probably stay at the same price from auction. So you can get some deals. 10 books for $10. It's a pretty good deal on some of these for $1 a piece. Now my store is open 24/7. I didn't realize that Whatnot was hiding them until my live, so I had to set them to where they show when I'm not live. Okay. So the next book we have this is called Spontaneous Healing by Andrew Well, MD. How to discover and enhance your body's natural ability to maintain and heal itself. This is a 1995. It's got a little bit of speckles on the edges. Better than that, it's a pretty good book. It says this book is destined to become a classic while providing us with practical suggestions and new, more natural approach to medicine. Physician and healer Andrew Well takes us on a journey from the jungles of South America to the lives of people who have miraculously recovered from what appears to be fatal illness. So this looks like a pretty good read. So because it doesn't really have a synopsis on it, the table of contents gives you an idea. Prologue in the rainforest, the faces of healing, right in my own backyard. Medical pessimism, testimonials, the healing system, the role of the mind in healing, the faces of healing, the Tao of healing. Interesting. I like learning natural. Charity! I like learning natural ways. Optimizing your health system, a healing diet, protecting yourself from toxins, using tonics, activity and rest, mind and spirit, an 8-week program for optimal healing power, making the right decisions, considering the alternative set of strategies of successful patients, managing general categories of illness, secrets of a hygienian practitioner, cancer is a special case. And that's what this book's all about. Healing, healing, healing. Are you having a good night? We got our heat back, but we did get some rain. Thank goodness. We needed rain terribly. I'm just hanging out on here on YouTube. I have some visitors on my live on YouTube too. Great. I know you and Jed were killing it the past couple days. You guys did a great job. I didn't know that Whatnot hit our stuff after our lives. And here this whole time I told my husband it's so weird because I would have sales during my lives, but no, at no other time. Here they were hidden. I had to go in 700 times and change it because it wouldn't do a select all to do it. So I'm hoping when I go to clone it from this sale to the next that will stay. Because I went to look on my profile and I couldn't see anything. It only had my dog showing. I was like, what the heck? Here all my books weren't showing till I was like, isn't that crazy? Whatnot in their features, you know? I was like, what? I know I have different places that I post to. So, after I get so many on whatnot, they sit there and after a while they don't sell. Then I'll be moving everything to the marketplace, and then I have a local yard sale. So I count it all towards store purchase though when I go to do my taxes. Even if I sell them at a yard sale, I still, and people pay cash, I still count them towards my bookstore purchases when I go to do taxes. Shopaholic is really killing us little people. I didn't know that they started that when I was already live on Wednesdays. I've been doing lives on Wednesdays on YouTube, so I kept it. And then I was like, oh, I missed the Shopaholic because I never get to see it. I like nibbing at what everybody has. That's the only reason why I don't like when they have a show when I do. I mean, it's going to happen, but I miss all the stuff. I want a nib. Me and my daughter talk about that all the time when we have our yard sale. We have a community one here, and a couple times we didn't have it because we wanted to go see what everybody else had. I don't like missing seeing what people are selling. I'm a nib nose. I want to know. What are you up to, Kidlet? I saw your message pop up, but I haven't read it yet. It came up when I started my live. So I only have 3 of these, and they're from a 14 volume set. I looked these up, so I did them individually until I get to see if I have this set. I don't think I do, but these would be cool. This is like real purple, even though it's showing blue. These would be real cool for me as a crafter. If I don't end up having these sets, I think I'm going to tear these books apart because I like the stuff in these. Look how cool that is. These would make great tags. I'm as bad as Margaret. I want to tear everything apart or collage with them. I do mixed media. I don't do her kind of stuff. Mine's more with paint and adding stuff. But oh my gosh, look at this. So this is called Computer Images. These are from 1986, and these are from the editors of Time Life. And like I said, I only have 3 of the set of 14 because I had to Google Lenses to see if there were more. There was just 3, I would have put them in as a set, but unfortunately there's more. What are you up to, Kidlet? You being a good girl? How's your hubby doing? He being a good boy? Or you got to paddle him lately? I'm still broke. My daughter, or we took my granddaughter out yesterday for her birthday, and um, we've been doing like a one-on-one Pappy and Nana date. Oh, let me rerun this. I had to stretch my leg out. But anyways, so we spent time with her, and it was funny because the restaurant owner came over. It was so cute. TBA. I don't know what that means. But the restaurant lady, the waitress, came over to us and asked if she could sing a song, a birthday song. She asked my husband while we were at the salad bar. She was so, oh, okay. She was so excited to have a birthday song sang to her from a restaurant. She'd never had one done before. You should have seen her face. She was so excited. Then they gave her free ice cream with sprinkles. It's adorable when they do that for kids. So we had a busy day yesterday, but I'm trying to get money saved up to do some winterization of our home before winter gets here. So that's where my little bit of money I've been making off my sales going into my savings account. Hey Joel, welcome, welcome. Yeah, I never heard. I'm learning some new things. Um, I was looking up how to restain a door because I mean, if I can save any of the stuff that I have, I will. And man, it looked messy to sand it down and repaint it and all that happy crap. So my daughter was like, "Mom, they have stain paint." I'm like, "What the heck is stain paint?" So I'm learning something new. Yeah, because it was Save. Moonlit Treasure Trove. That's a cute name. Let's see if I can get this person in here. It's hard to keep people in streams. What is up with that? Man, we didn't have this problem back in Yahoo Chat. People used to come in and stay the whole evening. It's so hard to keep people in over here. Yeah, I know. I'll tell you another person that struggles selling stuff to pay rent all the time too is Foster Friends Thrift. I can't even imagine you guys in California. Oh, trying to keep up with the prices. But her sales go into paying rent for the building, and the foster kids get free stuff. Like they provide free Christmas items, all kinds of stuff. We had something happen here recently. I didn't even know this existed. Me, it used to be the Salvation Army here. You had to have a certain level of income to be able to hit the food pantry. Well, me and my daughter were out shopping and thrifting, and they invited us for lunch. I guess now they have it open to where you go can get a free lunch, and they told us the menu and stuff. I thought that was cool. And then my mother-in-law, we stopped down to see her. They have trucks coming into the counties now, passing out free food. She said she got some green peppers, a couple bags of potatoes, but they were doing it local. It's like American Feed or something, and it's open to everybody. I thought that was really nice. Now I told my husband I watched some videos one time where I seen some of the smaller towns that had farmland. They were bringing military people in and growing crops. And I was wondering if more states would be taking care of their people. That would be nice. Because I know our state started a Facebook page that if you were looking for stuff, for support for things, the individual states are looking out for their people. Yeah, it's nice. I mean, we've had free lunches here too, but I thought it was really nice that they were doing more to try to help people. Hey, that door, and hey, Rudy, I can't. I'm not. I see you typing in this stream, and I see two names enter on my laptop, but I'm not seeing it. Oh, now I see Rudy. I see names popping on my computer that I don't see on my phone. I wonder why. That is so weird. Do you see the names? The other one before Rudy is that dude Ray Ray. But it's crazy because I would hate to think that people aren't thinking we're greeting them because we can't see them. You know what I mean? I would never do that on purpose. Yeah, it's, let me get his name in here. This person here popped in, and I could see him on my laptop, but I can't see him on my phone. That is so bizarre. I, one thing that Pal Talk used to have, you could enable a feature where you would see people come and leave. So and so join, so and so leave. I wish it would show people come in and leave too, so you know who's still in the stream and who isn't. You know? Hey, Jackie. Hey, Lanier. Yeah, but I ran a chat room for 6 years on Yahoo, and I learned a lot about what people look for. And no offense, because people are going to do what they're going to do, because it is hard to multitask. But this is feedback from the people who used to come in my chat room, and this is just the way they were. Is people want to be recognized. They don't like the generics. And this is just feedback from um and I always explain things because I want to. I had a guy that told me one time, we're still friends on Facebook. He said, my son suggested Yahoo Chat because at nighttime I would come home and I couldn't unwind after work. And he wasn't married. So he wanted just to have people to chat to. So he said, I downloaded Yahoo and I came in. And this is a feedback from a guy in Tennessee. He told me all this. I know, but I mean, I'm giving feedback to try to help people understand why I do the things that I do, because I think when you explain and you teach, it makes you become better as not only a seller, but a customer, because I've been on both sides too. But he said, I went into a whole bunch of chat rooms, Tammy. He says, even because they had your own state chat rooms too. He says, not one person would say hello to me. He says, I'm saying hello and people don't even act like I'm here. And he said, I almost deleted Yahoo until I came into your chat room. He says, I come into your chat room and I have like 50 flying hugs and hellos up the screen. And he said, you will have my loyalty to come in your chat room forever. He says, because you guys are amazing the way you greet people. And I think sometimes, like, even in YouTube, this is all platforms. We don't do that so much as on Whatnot, because, of course, people can have, a guest come on. But if you would go into Yahoo Chat and you see like 5 or 6 people on their panel, they're not even paying attention to their texters in some of these lives. And I'm always telling them, quit ignoring your texters, because your texters are fighting YouTube lag. They are struggling to get the sentences out. I know I fight with my spell check. My phone is getting old, and it's to the point, if you see me mess up a lot, it's not because I misspell all the time. I'm not saying I'm perfect, because I do misspell. But my phone keyboard is terrible right now because my phone is getting outdated. And when I try to text a comment on YouTube, it takes me forever. I'm like smacking the board, because when they updated YouTube, for some reason, when they do the updates in the app, somebody put in a forum to take the latest out and you'll be able to text again. I have a hard time commenting because my phone won't let me. It keeps freezing. So the only thing I can text in and I don't have a problem is like Facebook Messenger, and on here I don't have that problem. But it's just, I hate when they constantly force you to update technology when you don't got the money to. Like, I don't have the money to go out and buy a $3,000 phone right now. You know what I'm saying? I hate that. I hate that. So, when you know that people are struggling and they're fighting against things and they're in your stream. Your texters are so important because they, from a chat room to a seller, you guys keep the momentum going. When you have a good conversation going in on a live stream, whether you're selling or not, whether it's just a YouTube stream, a chat stream, it doesn't matter. If you get good conversations, you are going to keep people and draw people. And that's just a fact. And I had a lot of feedback listening to people in chat rooms. Yahoo Chat taught me a lot. That it matters. People want to be seen. They want to be noticed that they come into a stream. And a lot of people that I come across in chat were kind of like socially out of it. They were people who, had problems connecting to people. Yep. But it's almost like you got to find the right type of people, you know what I mean, to get that going. And I'm missing somebody that just came in. That beard man. But I try to catch people as much as I can because I just think to me it's important than just giving a hello. Or if you walk into a room and you see a bunch of clicks talking and they're only tagging the clicks and they're not noticing anybody else. I find that so rude. I just do. So if I see you, I'm going to try to type hello. Plus this helps me with typing, to be honest. I tell people all the time, I need practice with typing. So if you don't like your name tagged, I don't know what to tell you. Because I'm a slow typer. And I try, when you mod for other streams, it's nice to be a little faster. So this kind of tests my typing skills too. Oh, you can have all caps in here. I don't care. My cap locks too. Hey, need more coffee. Oh, they used to pick on me all the time in one of the computer chat rooms over there, Kidlit, because the guys would say, this is a computer room. It's not the huggy room, Tammy. I said, shut up. I'll hug people if I want to. I used to get in trouble mainly with the males. I said, learn to be more affectionate and you probably will make a woman happy instead of being on the computer all the time. I always had comebacks to pick on them because I was harassed all the time. But one of my friends, he told me, he says, Tammy, honestly though, you and these guys used to pick on each other in the computer room, but they had mad respect for you because I did pick on them. Pretty! Let me put you in here. But like I said, when you get good people in your stream, that's what I mean. It's like, I know it is hard to juggle because, when I was in a chat room, I wasn't selling at the same time, Kidlet. So don't get me wrong. It takes time and finesse to learn how to juggle both. But I'm just saying, this was, when people come at me like I'm such a snob or something for sharing this, everybody's just said, listen, this is not my opinion. This is what people told me that came to my chat room. This is feedback from many people over a 6-year period of time that they came and told me, we like our name being typed or said because you notice we're here. So this was feedback I would get. And, and sometimes when you're typing and you're selling, it's hard. It's really hard to juggle. But I do try. That's why I said I'll never be a sudden death seller. I'm a slow seller. Welcome in, Khaki. But I truly believe in really paying attention to your texters because We are the ones that struggle. And I tell you what, I tell people all the time, my spell check, I'm telling you, it needs a spanking. My spell check is so bad sometimes. I'll have a word even when I'm loading, books. It's changed author names on me. So I have to hit the check mark like over to the left to make sure that that stays, because I went and looked back at my book listings and like, what the heck did you do to me? You butchered this name. Like if it's a common thing like Hauser, and say it's not Howsher, but it's Hauser, it changes it to the other word. You know what I mean? It's like I'm always fighting with spell check. And I have turned spell check off before, but I kind of like it because at times when it does spell things faster, it works. You know what I mean? Because you're especially the way I do my listings, it works. But there's times I'm constantly fighting with it. But it's really funny when stuff comes out in chat. It's nothing like you said. And my husband, oh my gosh, when he does voice to text, you guys would die laughing. I should save some of them. When he does voice to text, it's like riddles. Sometimes I have to question him and I'm like, what? What are you trying to tell me? I see your voice to text is hysterical. Well, thanks for the purchase. Voice to text is awesome. Sometimes I have no clue what he's talking about. It's too funny. AQULMAN. I mean AK 4. This is supposed to be an H. AQUHLMAN 4. I hope I spelled your name right. And another thing that kills me too, do you guys have a problem with I's and L's? I really hate that they change things and they take away, even you don't cross your J's anymore. I get so confused on some letters sometimes. I'm like, is that a freaking L or an I? I hate that about the vocabulary change. When I'm trying to spell somebody's name to tag them. Thank you, Prinny. Aw, you guys are cute. You and Holbrook got me my doggy. All the money from that goes into her treats, so you know. Okay, I'm going to go to the next book. So this is one, like I said, these are, I don't have the whole sets of these because it's a 14 volume set, so I'm only doing these. And I like these because if nobody buys them, I'm going to use them for journaling. But this is Computer Security Book. This is from 1986 by the editors of Time Life. Me personally, I like the images in some of these. It'll be really cool in journals. So it's not going to hurt my feelings if some of these books don't sell, because I'm like, I can tear these suckers apart and have fun with them. If I had the whole set, I probably wouldn't. But I only got 3 of this one, so. Hey, Tad Adams. I need to start making journals again. I have some ideas. I have one book I tore apart yesterday. It was actually falling apart. Kidlet. That's hysterical. Oh, Prinny, Kidlet's a riot. I picked on her. She's out in California. I picked on her. I've talked to her on here. I've talked to her on YouTube. She's a riot. Her son, Will, is hysterical. He is such a good seller. She is teaching him very well. Him with them plushies. He cracked me up so bad. Oh my gosh. Your son is hysterical on plushies. He does such a great job because he'll sit in front of the camera and he gives like voices to the plushies. That's like excellent. But I mean, I'm telling you, kid, like that's excellent that he does that. I think you had a very good flow in the stream that day because of him doing that. He was cracking me up. And I know Money was laughing too. We were laughing so hard at him. He had the snake like hanging up over the back, and he was making voices with them. And that's a good seller. When you have an imagination to add into stuff, I think that's just fantastic. He's going to be a good one of these days. You watch. He's going to take after his mama. You should hear Kidlet sometimes when she's selling. She cracks me up too. So this one here is the software for computers. This is from 1985. And when they sell together, oh my gosh, they're hysterical. They get to picking on each other. Everybody thinks they're husband and wife. They keep saying, "Is that your husband?" She goes, "No, it's my son." Because the way they nitpick is hysterical. But that's what makes you family to me, is when you can pick on each other and still have a good sale. He helps her sell coins and stuff. And your daughter did a good job too. I mean, when you guys were doing the mystery boxes, I know she doesn't stay the whole time, but she tries. And when you guys were doing the mystery boxes, it was a lot of fun. Like I said, my husband rarely shops. And him listening to you guys in the background, and he picked that mystery box. He wears that chain. He had it on the other day. He was so excited to win something. He cracks me up. And he has his I told him to take the skull necklaces and stick it on his rearview mirror. He went to work today, it was around his neck. So he likes the tags that I had gotten off of you too, the dog tags. I like dog tags. I have a thing for them. I just really like them. They would be awesome on dangles for a journal too. I think the first time I met you was when you and your daughter were doing mystery boxes. You had the shoe boxes and then had numbers on them. And that was the very first live that I met you guys in. You were doing jewelry. But what was funny was that guy was like, "Give her the Jordache earrings." I didn't even know Jordache made earrings. I knew that they had jeans, of course, because we used to go to this place called the Mouse House when I was a kid, when I was a teen. And they had Gloria Vanderbilt jeans, Calvin Klein's, all that kind of stuff. And I knew about the jeans, but I had no clue they made necklaces and like jewelry and stuff. I know that was so bizarre. And he was like, "Gifting to Tammy." I'm like, "Okay, I can't wear them, but my grandkids can." Ever since me and my daughter had this talk, because she just turned 40, and she's been researching. My oldest daughter loves to read and investigate everything. She takes that after me. And she was reading about when you are going into the change, how it affects you when you have the pre-change before you actually go through the change. Like, you can start early. And she was talking about how, because I started with really bad itchy skin. And my doctor told me about eczema, but I'm beginning to wonder if it's because of estrogen. I couldn't wear the patch because it slid on me. I have oily skin. So I did take Permarin for like a year because my mother suffered hot flashes like crazy. She was always ice water and a wet towel around her neck. And I remember I was watching a show about Oprah that, she was talking about when women go through the change, what we go through. Like if your mother has hot flashes, you probably will, and all that kind of stuff. My mother had them terribly. When I first started in, I had to have a hysterectomy because I had cysts on my ovaries. I didn't have a choice. I didn't get to actually go through the natural change. So I had to have the surgery, and it didn't hit me at first. I was waiting though, because I know what my mom went through. Well, I ended up just out of the blue one night. I mean, my God, you talk about hot. I'm like running to the kitchen and sticking my face in the freezer because I was like burning up. So I finally know what that feels like to, have hot flashes. Well, they have a debate because my doctor was from India and they have a debate. She doesn't like, mine was at 38. She doesn't like when women are, because people from different countries have different beliefs. She doesn't like the um, if you stay on estrogens for a long term, it can cause cancer. Like she doesn't like that to stay on it for life. Hers is like a temporary thing. So I did Premarin for a while, and it did help with the hot flashes and things. But I've been looking up lately for natural stuff because Premarin is actually, believe it or not, pregnant horse piss is in those pills because there's something about that's why it's called Premarin Mayer, because there's something in the horse's urine when they're pregnant that helps calm what we go through with the hysterectomy. But then it makes you wonder if they're producing how many of these pills, how many pregnant horses are they keeping pregnant to do? You know what I mean? I don't know. I think it's stuff like that freaks me out. But anyways, there's natural stuff like flaxseed and things you can put on your food. So I've been looking up because I don't take Premarin anymore, but it did relieve my hot flashes. But I didn't want to stay on it forever. But I have terrible dry skin, like in certain areas, like my ears and the back of my neck. I was like Rudolph. I'm like, what the hell? My doctor said I have eczema, but I'm beginning to wonder because it didn't start until after, and nobody else in my family has it. And my daughter says, are you sure that didn't start after the hysterectomy? Like maybe I'm missing something because I'm not taking the estrogen. Maybe that's what's causing it. So we've been talking about this stuff, and I don't know. It could be, but it keeps closing my ear hole. And I can't wear earrings. Like all the holes stay open but one. And I've had that hole open, kidlet. Seriously, it was my first one since I was 16. They never closed until this happened. And I've had it re-pierced twice now. And it keeps closing because of so-called eczema. So I can't wear them anymore. I'm not going to keep constantly getting it pierced. You know what I mean? But I have some really pretty sets of earrings. It just kills me. So I might end up sharing them with my granddaughters. But that's why I can't wear them. And I don't like wearing the snap-ons because with the eczema on my ears, even the clip-ons irritate me. Like anything that touches my ears is irritating. And I talk to my aunts, talk to my family. Nobody else has had this issue. So it makes me wonder. But anyways, we're starting into cookbooks. And I have some good ones, even for crafters if they're interested. So the first one is called, this is the last set of books I have to go through on this live. It's called the GNC Gourmet Vitamin Cookbook by Myra Cameron. And of course it's aged. It's from 1980. And it says elegant entrees, delicious desserts, and everything in between. Soups, salads, snacks, sauces can be yours with this new nutritionally, well, it's not new now, enriched cuisine by one of our leading gourmet cooking teachers with a full range of general nutrition centers, natural food products, spices, and vitamins and mineral supplements, even those simply good dishes that carry out nutritional bonus for enhanced health and vitality, and often with the use of the best modern technologies such as instant tenderizers, blenders, and food processors, pressure cookers, and the microwave oven. Special directions are given for microwave cooking. The dishes can be prepared in less than the so-called convenience foods. For 50 of the nearly 200 recipes, super nutrition variations are given to add to the dish's food value at no sacrifice in flavor or ease of preparation. And there are complete nutritional analysis of every recipe in a handy table. In sum, the GNC Gourmet Vitamin Cookbook lets you give your family the most healthful meals they've ever had, delicious enough to satisfy the proudest cook. And what I like to do with cookbooks, and this is just me, I go through them and I take out my favorite recipes, write them in my book upstairs, and then I sell the cookbook. Unless it's one I really want to keep, because I do have a stand of cookbooks, but I've gotten a lot of good different recipes out of some of these books. And I even had some church ones. And if I missed you, welcome in. So this is this one. Hey Liz 23 Marie. Welcome in. Thanks, Kidlet, for helping me. I know I do that too. I actually had somebody come back and buy a cookbook out of my bin, and I'm glad they did, because some of these cookbooks are really expensive when you look them up, and I try to keep them cheap. This one here is Better Home and Gardens Eating for Life, and it is not a real thick one, but it's still a good one, from 2003 by the Meredith Corporation. And it's got fish and seafood, beef, pork, and lamb, chicken and turkey, meatless main dishes, side dishes, desserts, and you get all these cool, some tropical stuff. And I always like trying new things. My husband's my guinea pig. I'll make something to be like, I got a new one too. He goes, oh no, not again. Sometimes they're good. Sometimes they might be an epic fail, but at least, we try to have a variety. Let's get some good stuff in it. So I'm going to run it. Yeah, I started by doing 50 at a time and just cloning. But what I couldn't understand was, how come I wasn't making any sales when I wasn't live? Here, I only had one sale somebody actually bought when I wasn't, and the only one it was showing was my dog. Here, when you clone to move, I had to go through each post 700 times because it doesn't show up with the auction. It's when you move it from auction to the buy it now, there's a slider at the bottom that you have to make sure it's slid to show, because it automatically defaults on that your stuff only shows when you're live. And I had to go through and move the slider to where it's live all the time, because I want to have sales when I'm not here too, because I can check it on a daily basis. Yeah, and it was just like, what the heck? I went to my bin and there was only 2 things showing. And I'm like, what the hell? So this whole time, nobody saw it. That's what I did. 700 times. I know, I had to go through. And I understand that they have that default because some people aren't here full time. But you would think that it would be a person turning it off, that the default would automatically make it live. And if a person has to work, then they could, but then again, it probably would make more work for a worker that has a full-time job. So, I mean, I guess it does make sense, but oh well. I guess it is what it is. I'm on my last set of books. I'm getting hungry too. I didn't eat no dinner. I didn't eat any dinner, so I'm hungry. So I'm going to finish these and then I'll head out. I know some people repeatedly say stuff, but I'm too tired. This is salads for all season. And the reason why I put it under cookbooks too is because there is cooking things in here to make salads because it's, you know, chicken salad you cook. This is a 1982. And it has vegetable salads, fruit salads, molded salads, wholemeal salads, buffet salads, and salad dressings. And let's just say, even as a crafter, if nobody buys this actual book, you can literally cut the spring all the way up because some crafters like the holes not ripped. And you could add this to a journal cookbook. If you want to make a journal that's like with cookbook images in it, you can use these pages because these pages are cool. I like this and I like that. Even if you don't use the recipes, some of the pictures in these are amazing. I mean, even for a garden book, a person could use some of these pictures. I see everything as a craft. It's just a habit. That's just me. And if you're making your own homemade cookbook, these pictures are good. I like some of the old looking ephemera. Look at that. I mean, who wouldn't want that in your garden book? That doesn't I mean, because it's vegetables and stuff. It's not even a cooking picture. Like, I mean, it is, but it isn't. You could use it for both. So anyways, this is actually from Current. And I loved Current stuff. Current used to give you a whole bunch of cool stuff back in the day. If you ordered like so much, they would give you like a whole bunch of stuff. They had the best stationery. They still exist. They just don't do what they used to. Oh, Current was awesome. I have one cookbook that I think my daughter would even like. If it don't sell, she'll probably snag it. Because in this day and age, you need to, especially with as high as groceries are. I had a book and I don't know what I did with it. It was called Easy Meals on a Budget to help people because I know some people are looking for these types of books right now. I have a few people I know on YouTube doing videos to showing people how to make the most out of a little bit because the struggle's real for some of these people. This one here is one I think she would like. 366 low-fat brand name recipes in minutes. More than 1 year of healthy cooking using your family's favorite brand foods by M.J. Smith. And this is 1994. It's in really good condition. It's almost like new. And it says, if you crave good cooking and good health but find yourself short on time, delicious and healthful meals are now as close to your cupboard with brand name foods you may already have around the kitchen. You can create mouth-watering and nutritiously sound meals in minutes. In fact, most of these recipes take less than 30 minutes to prepare. You'll save precious time and money at the same time reducing unwanted calories, fat, salt, and cholesterol. Green chili spoon bread, Bartles and James tropical fruit salad, pepper chicken and tortellini salad, speedy baked ziti, Saturday night seafood scramble, Dane and brownies, frosted pistachio marble cake. These look so good. They don't have no fancy pictures, but it definitely has some really good recipes. What did that say? Strawberry. What? Strawberry soup? 2 cups of fresh ripe strawberries cold. 1 cup of Kemp's low-fat buttermilk. Oh, that's a dessert. That looks good. Potato bread. I've had potato bread before. It's got some good stuff in it. So if you're looking for this, Oh, you did, and I'm broke till Friday. Hey, Rooster. Everybody has great deals when I'm broke. I swear I think all these sellers on here say, Tammy don't got no money, let's drop our prices. I take it personal. Seriously, I was watching a seller selling like Louis Vuitton wallets today for like $110. I know how much those suckers cost when you look up Louis Vuitton. And it's just like, oh my gosh. I'm just saying. All these people have this great stuff. We got to call Bugman in. I don't think I showed you the picture. Here, I got to send you something. Wait till you see this. Give me a second because I'm going to message you with this picture. My husband was mowing the grass and he turned around. We had no clue and came face to face with this. I'm going to send it to you. Oh, I'll look. I'll look. It's okay, kidlet. I'll check. Yeah, I had another seller tell me that she thinks she mailed me part of somebody else's order. I'm like, I'm okay. I'll fix it. Oh, yeah. He was lucky. He told me, he says, I turned around and that was in my face, Tammy. And he says, and I saw like 3 come out. He says, and me and I ran to the house because he was scared to death. That's what that is a hornet's nest in my tree. And my husband is really accident prone. So he sprayed it at night. He had sprayed it. But like I told him, don't touch it. You want to spray it and run in the house to try to kill him, that's fine, but you are not to remove it. I'm going to call a professional in. Yes. I said we're going to have a professional come in and I'm going to have them spray anyways because we have too many spiders and ants. The ants in our yard is ridiculous. I can't even sit in a chair under my tree without being covered with ants running on my hands. They're that bad. So I said I'm going to have them just treat the outside. And my daughter said that if you take and you put this company, you pay one price of like $100 and some dollars, because I'm not calling the big ones because they cost too much money. Orchid and Terminex are ridiculous in price. But you pay like $100 and some dollars, and then 2 times a year for $75 is all you pay. I think it's spring and fall, and they come and just do around your house. Whose ball? What are you talking about? Danger balloon? No, Shanda. What the heck are you talking about? Oh, I don't know. I just call it a hornet's nest. Because that's what it is. We just ghost busted on our eve out here where it's wood. We just got rid of carpenter bees. Me and my husband went out and we put a pump with Dawn dishwashing liquid in it. It was actually in a TikTok video, and believe it or not, it works. We went and sprayed Dawn dishwashing liquid. I said, is there anything Dawn doesn't do? We sprayed it in the holes and it knocked the bees out. Like while they're sleeping, they dropped out and we were able to kill them. So we did get rid of our carpenter bees because they were tearing up my wood. But it does work. Dawn dishwashing liquid. But you got to put it in a spray pump. You know, when it pumps and then you just spray it in the holes. It worked. He saw it on TikTok. I said, let's try it. We were out in the middle of the night and I'm singing Carpenter Bee Busters instead of Ghostbusters. So we feel like Ghostbusters walking around out there. It was funny. Now this one here is running for a little bit of money. I don't know if it's sold for that, but I'm not selling it as high as what it's out there. I think it's because it's just the brand. I love the font on this. Look at the color. Love the swirls. This is The Creative Cook, written by Campbell's Soup Company. I think I seen it online for like 20 bucks or so. I'm only putting it out for 8. And the only reason why I'm putting it a little higher than the $4 is because if nobody buys it, I'll turn it into a journal. This is 1978 and it's the same on the inside. Like, look at that outline. This book is so cool. And it's all Campbell's Soup incorporated type recipes. And I'm thinking, yeah, I like the cover. I like the pictures in it. Look at the chicken down there in the basket. This has got Spanish chicken, rolled souffle, a Tahitian chicken, chicken and plum sauce, festive Chinese chicken. It's got all kinds of goodies in it. So there is that. And if nobody buys it, I'm not heartbroken. Alrighty. Welcome back, CKG Nurse. Your books are still here, so if you're interested, you can go get them. Alrighty, kidlet, I'm almost finished. You have a good one. Thanks for coming in and helping me, Maud. That was sweet of you. The next cookbook I have. Hey, Queen Vlogs and Adventures. Thanks for stopping by on my YouTube channel. This one here is called Feeding Friends by Jean Pruitt. Jeannie Pruitt. Jean Pruitt. And this is cool. This is 1986. And I love this because it's tight. Shrimp fritters, peanut butter bars, Kentucky Derby pie. This is one of these old-fashioned type. Oh, look at that cute, that piece of toast. Shall it be syrup or sugar today? I like the little pictures and stuff in these kind of books. So if you're looking for some good cookbooks with the typing, oh, love the typing. And it's got many different. We have appetizers, breads, casseroles, desserts, fish, meats, and poultry, soup, salad, sauces, vegetables, odds and ends, and Jeannie Talks. So there is this cookbook. And hello, Pratt. And then the next cookbook we have, like a lot of these because they're spiral bound. This is another current. This is called this Time Saver Cookbook. And this is from 1983 by Miriam B. Liu. And I do have a few cookbooks from this particular lady. Chocolate cream fondue, banana cream parfait. This is making me hungry. Cute, cute, cute. Current cookbook. Hey, Team Rocket Hideout. Welcome in. We are just doing cookbooks. If anybody sees anything in the auction, please feel free to let me know. Next, we have a bread book. This one here is Fresh from the Oven Bread by Marion B. Lewis. And this is actually, oh, that looks so good. What year is this from? 1982 too. All kinds of good recipes. Yummy foods. So we will run this one. And the next one I think is for Christmas one. She must have been a pretty popular cook over here. I learned most of my recipes from my grandmother's, my mother, just watching people. Really did get into cookbooks. I did at home ec a little bit though. Hey Ange, welcome in. Ange 1617. Try to welcome everybody in. Okay. So then the next book we have, this is the same lady, but this is her holiday cookbook. I think this bunch of, I mean, I'm not saying it just to sell them either. I think this bunch is really nice. This is the Holiday Cookbook by Marion B. Liu, and it is from 1979. Look, I almost was like Raggedy Ann and Andy on those little gingerbread people. But I love the pictures in these. Look at that. Graphics in some of these older cookbooks are so cool, whether they're in black and white or in color. Look at that one. Oh my gosh. Oh, that looks so good. Like I said, these would be cool in journals. Look at that house, a gingerbread house. This is another Current. She must have been through Current or something. They always have the coolest stuff. Doesn't matter if it's, I don't know. I like their old writing paper and their postcards, but their cookbooks are adorable. I need to get some people in here so I can raid Foster Friends Thrift. We need to create a raid. Okay. So then the next one, and the last book I have, I couldn't get a date on this one, just so that people know there was no copyright year, but it definitely was from the 80s era, and I think some other people picked up on that too. This is my family favorites. This was the QVC Host by Mary Beth Rowe. And I just put no copyright dated, but from the 80s. So I put the just 1980 in there, but I don't. It has to be one of the years in the 80s, but not sure which. And I couldn't find an answer online for that either. But it is definitely a really nice book. She not only incorporated her recipes, but pictures of her growing up and some of her life in here. And I thought that was really nice. And it's got everything in it from your salads and then your vegetables, your main dishes. your breads, your pastries and desserts, cakes and frosting, cookies, bars and candies, and then miscellaneous. So it's a nice bound book. So we will run this. Hey, Firestorm. You want to help me raid? You stick around, we can go raid. I need to get some people in here to do some raids. Who else is home alive? Cool and common. I want to raid somebody. And I'm going to be by myself. Who else can I tag back in here? Charity. I need help with the raid. I need people to help me raid. Come and help me raid. Here, I'll run this again. Come on, somebody help me raid. Where is everybody hiding? Hey, Cowboys fan, you want to help me raid somebody? Come on, people, I need a reader. One more person. It's getting too quiet in here. Okay, let me see here. Welcome in. Who popped in? Let's go raid somebody. Will you help me raid? We're going to go raid at Foster Friends Thrift. They do fundraisers for foster kids.